Tom and I have been hard at work in the holiday lab, improving our value streams. Numbies-wise, this past year was not our best, which breaks our streak of always improving. But this is not like a boo-hoo thing. We have come up with a multi-point plan to turn this ship around.
That's right, Joe. Our first order of business is to do the Yakuza thing, where you cut off your pinky because you've brought shame to our podcast. We both have. Way of put it sound. No, we both brought shame to our podcast. So the pinkies, they gotta go.
That's right, Tom. So I have my wakashiki here.
Joe, you idiot! You can't pronounce Japanese. It's pronounced washi tape.
And my Japanese finger charcuterie board here. Ready?
Yeah, hit it, Joe. Owie! Yowie! Oh, getting your pinky cut off sucks. I hate it. Oh, no. Okay, now your turn.
All right, hit it, Tom. Ow. Fuck. That hurts. Why do hands have so much blood?
They just do. My sister's a doctor. She told me that. Oh, shit. Wait, Joe. I actually just realized something. So we did this, because we weren't being optimal with our podcast. Losing our pinkies is going to make it harder to use the computer.
Oh, shit. Fuck. You gotta cut off my other fingers.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Anime Sickos. It's the podcast for geniuses and the only podcast where we take a look at the four pillars of modern misery: anime, gaming, posting, and jobs. I'm Tom, an anime sicko.
I am Joe, an anime sicko.
We got a patron to thank. One new patron who's given us money. This is going to be my man, Zach Davis.
Giving us money is so cool, and so is having the name Zach.
This is the best thing to do in 2024. New year, new you, new name, names of Zach. If it was your name already, just change how you spelled it. If you did the CH, like Zach Davis does, make it CK. Vice versa if you were the other way. Thank you, Zach. So you may have heard in our little funny sketch that we did before the intro, our cold open sketch. You could tell it was a sketch because Joe was doing his acting voice.
Eat shit.
So okay, but it was a joke. It was a joke. We didn't really cut our fingers off. I know you're gonna be shocked because it sounded like we really did, but we didn't. But what is real, and if you've read our year in review post that we put on our newsletter, which is on animesickos.substack.com, you know that this actually was the first year where we did not grow in terms of like numbers and metrics and like downloads, listeners per episodes, etc., etc.
Every vector did not show year over year improvement, which,
yeah.
And we're saying this not to be like, oh, we're just like, hey, this got us thinking.
Yeah, I mean, and the fact is, and this is just true, is that I don't think the show was as big a priority as it used to be for either of us. I mean, that's probably because it was just like going so well for so long that we figured it could just like stay on autopilot. Like, we'll just do another episode. We'll figure it out. We don't need to like have like a meetings that often to like discuss, because like we'll just we'll wing it and it'll work because it's been working. And I think that finally caught up to us, because like what was it that made the show so great originally? It was like we were like talking at length about dumb shit. We were coming up with these funny goofs, huge amounts of goofs, and then like we would reflect on the goofs that we had, and we would see the patterns, and that would like make the concepts that was so great about anime sickos. And so what we need to do, and what we have been doing, is making time to prioritize that sort of creativity. That creativity for creativity's sake. Because, what we were doing before that was so burning us out is we would be like, what's an episode idea? And we would like start at the end, like come up with an episode idea.
And episodes are made out of mud. And mud is made by doing stupid shit.
Exactly, yes. And we were like, we don't need to do the stupid shit because we got other stuff going on. Let's just do an episode. But like, we don't have. Yeah. We're like trying to build a house when we didn't go to Home Depot. You know, we need to go to Home Depot. Actually,
we're just in denial that we're hogs.
Yeah, we actually. That's not a metaphor. We need to go to Home Depot together. It'd be fun.
I got a Costco membership now too.
I do too. It's pretty good. I don't go that often. You need to have a family, which we'll get to in a bit, for it to really pay dividends. Anyway, the point being, so it's already bearing fruit. You know, we've reprioritized. You know, this what it takes to build the show, the foundations of what makes it good. And case in point, one of the things we've been missing is sort of like recurring segments that are the sort of things that define the show. You know, when you think about Anime Sickos, you think about this segment.
The fruit tournament that they don't even like. Yes.
Yeah, like stuff like that. When we read the Fate Wiki, we could do that all the time. And a lot of like little segments, create like a little modular thing we can plug in at certain times. And also, this is something that we've had to sort of reckon with, is for a long time, we've sort of thought it was funny to not do things the best practice way. You know, we're not on TikTok, we're not on Instagram, we barely post or promote the show. We don't like do shows about the hot new thing. Like, are we going to do a Delicious in Dungeon episode because of the anime coming out? Fucking no.
I will say I feel less bad about not doing all the optimal stuff because there's just like porn for every ad on Twitter now. So like, I feel like if we were doing optimal stuff,
we'd be posting our asses and holes.
There would be Photoshop too. They'd be like weird and long, like that one woman's.
But okay. But what I'm saying is our news segment, it's really fresh. It is our brand, but at the same time, it's really SEO friendly. You know, it's about something that's in the news that people really care about and really talk about all the time. And I think you're gonna like it. It's something we've never even talked about anything like this before. We never even referred to anything like this. You never even could see, like, this is gonna be, when you hear this, you're gonna think three things. One,
Brave New World.
This is something the Sickos never would have done before. Two, you're gonna think, but at the same time, it fits them so well. And three, you're gonna think, oh my God, it's what I didn't know I wanted. You know, this is a topic that is really near and dear to everyone, and is full of breaking news like every day. Joe, would you care to debut the name of our new segment?
Yes, it is Queen Watch.
Sicko mode, sicko mode, sicko mode. 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 So I think I forgot to...
Okay, she's like more of a skeleton than before.
I forgot.
Like she objectively is.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens when you be dead. I forgot to actually send you this picture, but my wife and I were waiting at the train station in Malaga. And there was this crappy store full of little junk, and there was little plastic Queen Elizabeths, and I took a picture of it, and my wife walked over and saw me doing that and was just like, Queen Watch. Anyway, we're back from a break. Joe, you may recognize as not having been on the last two episodes. Why?
Why? I'll tell you why. Because I have gone from Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Z. I show up, and they're like, oh my God, he fucked and has a kid now.
He got baby Ivan. He cute as hell, folks. I seen him.
Yes. The 4 weeks of leave that I had with him were incredible. It was so fucking good to just like, the only thing that matters is just what the people in front of me need. And honestly, it was like washing breast pump parts mostly, but still that felt like very good. Like I was like a golden retriever about everything.
Yeah. I mean, you talk about how a modern world alienates you from your labor. This is like baby need this now. And like you give baby this and like success.
I do this really stupid anxiety brain thing, and I've done it for as long as I can remember, even as a kid, which is like when I am experiencing a significant event, I will be like, you're going to remember this, right? Like, this is, like, important. Like, this is a key thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I, before, like, labor started, I was kind of having that same thought. And let me tell you, once things got going, it was, like, just a time skip.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
So, our boy is named after my grandfather, who was just a nice guy. He was just, like, a nice dude.
Hell yeah.
There's not, like, a story there. Like, he didn't found a town or anything. He just was a nice guy.
I mean, that honestly, if that's how I'm remembered, like, slam dunk. Because, like, what else? Like, how many people do something where, like, the thing that they did was the thing that mattered? Like, never. Being, like, a nice dude who's just, like, solid and can hang, like, what else is life for?
Exactly. So he loves white noise.
Brian Eno?
Yeah. Eat shit. Again, eat shit. He does really like music for airports, though. In the hospital, we played that a lot. And he enjoyed it. He also likes just like radio or podcast. Before we started recording, he was calmed by the Erica episode about supplements.
Oh, hell yeah.
It was very cute.
He also likes White Noise, the book by Don DeLillo, just to be clear. I was joking before, but that's true.
You've never read that. You've only mocked it, right? Or you tried to read it.
I tried
but,
to
you're
read
just like,
it.
this isn't for me.
Yeah,
it's a shame. It is. Your critique was correct, which is that it's annoying because of what it is. But it is the funniest version of the annoying English professor type piece of literature.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and Ivan, when I last saw Ivan, he was telling me that he thinks the phrase Toyota Celica is really meaningful. And I was just like, I'm just not with you, man.
You don't think that's funny? You don't think that makes good prose?
It's fine.
As I said on an earlier episode, Winnie and I took classes, in anticipation of the baby, both for birth and then care after. She knows things I don't know. We have a bit of asymmetrical knowledge here.
Mm-hmm. To be clear, asymmetrical division of labor as well. It's really woman focused, the whole birthing of baby.
I brought that up in the class, and no one agreed. I was like, it's just so about them.
I didn't think you were going to go with that framing, but okay.
One thing they gave us a heads up on, which is your baby's first bowel movement, is black tar from hell's hell. Because I had that information, I did not faint. If I'd gone into that blind, I would have thought El Diablo, and I would have passed out.
Or I got one of those babies that's gonna die immediately.
Oh no.
It's like when something comes out of your car. When your car starts leaking a thick viscous fluid, you're just like, car not happy now.
But Joe, no, because I was equipped with knowledge beforehand, I was okay.
Folks, I cannot emphasize to you enough how many times I've heard about this tar shit.
It was so scary. Because all I could think about was Joe B experiencing that without the information beforehand. And Joe B just in anime when they show a guy's psyche breaking, and it's just
yeah.
That would have happened.
Yeah. Well, I'm Tom A, and I heard, dude, when he has his first shit, it's gonna be black tar. Oh, he had his first shit. It's black tar. I can't believe it. And then a couple hours later, if I didn't know that it was black tar, I'm just like, stop telling me. I mean, stop telling me about your baby's shit is a truly futile thing to say to you, because for the next couple of years of your life, that's going to be one of the main things is you're going to be one of those guys that picks up the baby and puts a hook finger in the waistband and looks down at the butt. That's your life now. You do that now.
My sister came over and picked him up and was his diaper is a little wet. And that wasn't even touching it. That was the weight of him. And that's how with the level she's on.
You're going to get there.
Yeah, I will. The other thing that is cool is that when you're a dad, you're more valuable to society. Like when a ship starts fucking up, it's women and children and dads first, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Like I'm not yet. I'm trying to become a homeowner, which will, I hope, take me out of the cast of sorry people who don't matter. But even if I do that, Dad is going to eclipse me by a mile. And it's really apropos that you have done this, because you have a lot of your habits and little personality quirks are very dad coded, and you can't really like call that out, because if you say that, then it's basically the same as accusing you of stealing dad valor. But now it's all
I was going to say
true.
you were accusing me of being a sex haver.
No, well, that we don't need to get into that. But like, you showed me a screenshot of your text conversation with your wife Winnie, and you were doing random capitals on words that were not the first words of sentences.
This just changed in me. I don't know when this took over.
You had 2 spaces and 3 spaces at once instead of 1 space just in the middle of sentences. He was like he'd been a dad for years, folks.
Yeah, my dad has the best texting form out of like any living human. I'll get there one day, but like 15 lines that are blank, the word okay, and then one more blank line. Like that is the level he's on.
Did he not notice pressing return 15 times? Like, how do you get there?
In his defense, I notice it because it's so, like, the bubble is ridiculously huge because he's padded it. So, like, in terms of pure reach, I kind of get it. It's still very funny, but I'll be there. I will be inscrutable in, like, 2 years, hopefully.
Nice. You're going to need to start grilling more.
I have no strong feelings about grilling. I just never have. Like, if I had a smoker, I think that'd be different.
Okay, no, that's true. I think that's sort of like how society has moved a little bit, like we've progressed.
We need to return. Men used to grill, now they smoke.
Fuck. You need to start watching TV more. Not because there's anything in particular you need to watch, but just like you need to start falling asleep in front of the TV. You need to get into a habit where you just go. You're just out.
I need to watch a movie with the sound off, standing in front of the TV.
Yes. That's so good. That's so good. No subtitles either. And it's on TV and there's commercials.
Yeah.
Dads love watching televised movies.
If they can own the better version of the thing they're watching, and they will opt for the bad TV one.
Yeah, I mean, it's curated. You've stumbled into it. It's like, well, I didn't decide to watch this movie, but I may as well. And you got to stand really close to it. You're going to get this. It's going to be fine. So one thing about Ivan, he's a cute little guy. His head is like, the basketball of his head has gotten like the final pump. And like, he's like, it's like ready to be a guy. And he looked cute as hell. He used to be more little. But even when he was more little, he had fucking Superman syndrome, where all of his muscles are double muscles.
He's a very strong baby, and it's not... I don't know where it's from, like genetically speaking. This isn't just like, oh, my little guy is so strong. It's like when he was born, he was like doing the devil lance on me, like on my chest. I was like, this fucking hurts. Like, wow. And then when he got his tongue tie removed, like as the dentist was taking him away, he's like, why are you so strong? As he's like struggling with him.
Yes, yeah, and you would tell me like, you would send me pictures of him with his like swaddling all fucked up. And you'll be like, dude, we swaddled him so tight. We didn't even do a bad job. And I'm like, you probably did a bad job. And then I went, and I like saw in his bed in real life. And I'm like, this MFer's swaddled tight as hell. And he broke the fuck out. He's Houdini. But he doesn't have like a trick. He's just doing it with pure fucking brawn.
I have swaddled him, and I have come back like 10 minutes later, and his fist is just in the air.
Oh, he also does speak fist in the air. He does the cactar. That's his like thing.
Oh, yeah, it's so cute. Like when he is napping or like getting into sleepy mode, his body likes to sort of like fall into this position where like he's on his back and he's got one elbow bent 90 and then like the other arm is bent 90 the other way like cactar, and he's just like at peace.
It's so cute.
He defaults to it, which is really nice.
Yeah, that's good as hell. He's got Superman syndrome. He's gonna unlock Blast Core. You gotta watch his SP because once he gets enough to unlock Blast Core, you're done. So here's the thing that I did. So you mentioned you can't cook food on your own. You're busy with the baby. He just got born. And I saw Devin Price make a post on Tumblr when I was seeing. Is anyone liking our shit on Tumblr? A few. But Devin Price was like, white American culture is so empty because in other cultures, real cultures, why, when there's a child, everyone comes together and there's tangible help such as sharing of food and I mean, he was right. I mean, that's all true. But I guess I'm just the most moral white person, and I transcend white American culture and create the beautiful world that Devin wishes existed. Because I spent all day making you like something like 5 gallons of food.
Yeah, just a deranged amount of amazing lentil stew and a really good veggie chili. And logistically speaking, like having meals removed from each day is such a gift.
I felt like I felt like I made a joke. I felt like the most moral man who ever lived. Like this is so much heaven. Like I get it's incredible how many sins that I can get away with now, and God can't get mad at me. It's just not allowed. This
one thing.
Yeah. I mean, I also made you a fucking pecan pie and a pumpkin pie, and I didn't tell you until after you had eaten the pecan pie and didn't get sick that Lucy licked it. My cat Lucy did lick the pie as it was cooling. And I just looked at it. I determined there are no visible tongue marks. And I said, nobody needs to know. Now everyone knows.
Yeah. Well, I probably already have toxic plasmosis.
Yeah.
So on the subject of the pies, the lentils and the huge supply drop of veggie chili occurred after we had got our new fridge.
Oh, the fridge! I forgot about the fridge.
We got a new fridge because we brought home our baby boy, and then our fridge broke the next day, which was especially frustrating because Winnie's mother had just cooked a bunch of food, like, welcome home, here's a bunch of food for you later. Tom had given us pies, so all that shit had to be thrown out. Also, not having a fridge when you have a baby and you need to store breast milk sucks. So we bought a mini fridge, and then my parents also had a mini fridge we took from them. So we were joking that like every major like holiday or life event, like a major appliance has to go wrong.
Yeah.
Because like last Christmas, the furnace went out during like that deranged cold snap, and we had to relocate us and the cats and everything. So we are living out of just limited fridge capacity. So we buy a new fridge, or I order a new fridge. It takes several tries because everything is fucked.
Joe has, Wacky Wasteland, the perk from Fallout New Vegas, where if you turn it on, it just makes stuff fucking weird. Joe has that in his life.
I can't turn it off. It's always been on. And so this is what happened. One, we ordered a fridge from Home Depot. We ordered from Home Depot because Winnie's dad told us, like, we ordered an appliance recently and it wasn't from Home Depot. He was like, what the fuck are you doing? So we ordered it from Home Depot. The delivery guys show up. I open the door. there's two guys. There's a smaller guy, and there's a big guy with a huge box on his back. And when I open the door, he says, "Dishwasher, right?" And I was like, "No, no, actually, it's a fridge."
Dishwasher, right?
And mind you, I have like a child, no fridge. Like I'm like the fridge is outside. Like I'm so close to having a working fridge. I'm like, hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. He gets up there, takes a look at everything, and he's essentially, he doesn't say this verbatim, but this is what he says. Because I'm a contractor to Home Depot and not actually from Home Depot, I am not allowed to leave a fridge that is hooked up only with a rubber hose. It needs its own water shutoff valve directly behind the fridge. Because you don't have that, I'm going to take the fridge now and go home. Goodbye. Which, like, was devastating. Was absolutely, like, the solution was there. And we almost got a free dishwasher.
Yeah. This is why it's wacky wasteland shit, because when Joe told me what happened, I, like, refused to believe it because it doesn't make any sense. Like, wait, what do you mean, like, valve? Like, it needs to have a valve? And he's like, yeah, but we don't... Our fridge didn't have, like, the fridge that they got didn't have a valve, and so they just were like, well, like fucking Curly Bill from Tombstone. Well, bye, and they go.
Yes. So we ordered one from Apt, and I emailed the sales rep, and I was like, here's what the back of my fridge looks like. Home Depot took a fridge out of my mouth because my situation back there was not ideal. Will you do the same to me? And he was like, no, that's fucking normal. We'll send it over. And it was fine. And there was no issues with that. The Wacky Wasteland issue that persisted to this point is when the fridge went bad, we threw everything out. Duh.
Obviously.
My mom was kind to throw it out and like clean the fridge quickly. What had happened is Winnie's mom was going to cook for us. She did cook for us already, and she was going to cook more, and she was going to cook fish. So what had happened is she had one of the... You know how fish is like, when you buy it from the store, it's like on that styrofoam thing wrapped?
Correct, yes.
So what had happened is there was one of those, and then the temperature became normal, and it slid behind the drawers.
Oh. And
causing there to be the most awful smell of all time. One that I tried so I could not, like, it was... I tried so hard so these guys didn't have to smell this, man. Every time I opened the fridge, I started blinking red. It was so maddening. Like I did the fucking like tons of baking soda, bought Fresh Wave, wipe. Like I just didn't see
because it's white against the white.
Yes, and also the back of the drawer was opaque. Okay.
Oh fuck.
So,
okay. Like, yeah. This is impossible to find.
So here's what happened. When the Apt guys get here, I was like, hey, there's a really bad fridge smell. I have tried extensively to try to clean it up so it's not as bad. But, like, if you're just, like, you should remove it from the, like, don't take the doors off. Do you need to take the doors off? He's like, I don't need to take the doors off. I was like, okay, cool. And then he just opens both doors. And like literally... There was like three guys. One of them almost yacked right there. One of them had to pull his shirt over his mouth immediately. The guy running the show was like stoic, but I could tell like he was like, oh man. So, and this is the part where like it was just I've never felt more like a baby bitch, which is I explained. I was like, we've cleaned this out. You can see there's like. Now that we've opened it and it's killing us, we can see inside.
Yeah, there's nothing there.
And then one of the guys is like, what the fuck? He like starts like digging at the drawer, and he like, is this a fish? and like I wanted
is this, a fucking fish?
I wanted to die, man. Like it was just like, oh, that smell is from your diaper, which is filled with shit. Like, it was just very embarrassing. They got an insane tip because I made them puke. But that whole saga is over. We have a fridge. We have the same model of the previous fridge, which evidently was 15 years old. So that's a good lifespan.
Yeah. I can't get mad at that. Cog Talk. Joe, you're back at work already, which blew my mind because anytime people tell me about their paternity or maternity leave, they always give it in weeks, which I should be able to understand how long weeks are, but I just don't. So you say 4 weeks, and I hear like a really long time. That's a lot.
How many Fridays is that? That's impossible to know.
It's impossible to know. And then you sent me a picture of Ivan with a little 1-month-old thing next to him looking cute, and I'm like, look at that guy, he's so big. And then you said something about like people emailing you annoyingly, and I'm like, what do you mean? And you're like, it's been a month, I'm back at work. And I'm like, no, because you had 4 weeks of leave, Joe, you can't be back. Oh no.
Yeah. I will say the experience of having a kid does force some priority stuff on me, which is like, how do I put this? One of my problems is that like I just will excessively sort of like reflect and try to like solve a non-problem or get anxious about it or whatever. Having a child has made me able to not do that as easily because there's just like this other important thing anchoring everything else.
Yeah, my hypothesis when you told me about this is that your brain, like all human brains, in the morning generates a given amount of dedication juice. And prior to Ivan being around, there was only one real authority figure who was asking you to provide dedication juice. The show does not count because this is hobby. But like a real authority job was like, give me your dedication juice. And you're like, okay, here's all of it. And now there's a little human guy who clearly needs it more. And so you're allowed, you find yourself able to give less of a shit.
Yeah, I it's nice. Well, first of all, I realize this is probably how a lot of people function. It's also like, oh, a lot of people are probably at this level where they're just like, what work is whatever. I have a family. Who gives a shit?
I don't have a family, and that's how I feel about work.
Right, exactly.
What I don't understand, and I guess it's just because, the people at work aren't like your buds who talk to you every day. Like, how are they emailing you for stuff? Don't they know about the baby? Do they think you're gonna do the work real fast? Like, what?
I mean, I basically already have. I fucking have. I took one meeting where when he was at a follow-up doctor appointment where he was fussing, so I just had to do it holding him. Oh. And he was just ripping ass the whole time. He was just farting into my center of mass.
You couldn't think of any good car ideas because of it.
And I don't know. They gave me 4 weeks, so I was supposed to get all that baby shit figured out by then. Like, he's supposed to be fed for the year and stuff then. The other thing that like made me climb a clock tower about it. Is that I came back and then they announced a more generous parental leave policy that I have like missed.
This seems again wacky wasteland. The little vault boy with the wiggly eyes shows up in the corner of your life when this happens.
Yes, like I have an email drafted that is just like phrased like, "Am I understanding that if my son was born 11 days later, I would have had 3 times as much leave." That's like
3 times.
I mean, you're going from like 4 weeks to 12. I think it is.
Math
that's a
checks
jump.
out.
That's math, dude.
That's you gotta get that fucking leave. This is insane. What the hell?
Yeah. If my son has any problems, it's because of this.
And he's not going to have any problems. I think he's actually going to be perfect, and his brain is going to be fine. He's never going to have anxiety or get in his head about anything. He's going to be really chill and strong, too. His neck muscles are as you report, Kengan-like.
That is the thing I was blown away with in terms of his like muscle and physical development. Is like his neck going from like I got a bobblehead, I need some help, to like oh he's like he still needs help, of course, but like he's got infrastructure.
Yeah. If someone like picks him up and doesn't support his head, it isn't like the head'll come off.
He's not Billy Bass. Yeah.
There was this sketch that we wanted to send you, but it turned out to not be as good as we remembered about babies. This is what we thought it was. Is some people want to make this guy, the protagonist, hold their baby. He's like, no, I'm so afraid I'll hurt it. And then eventually they convince him to do it. The music turns wholesome. He picks up the baby and is like, oh, it's okay. And then the baby immediately pops like a balloon. That's what we thought the sketch was. What it actually is they give him the baby, and as he's holding the baby, he starts freaking out about, oh, I'm going to ruin it. And when he gives the baby back, then the baby pops. That doesn't work as much because that's not his fault.
Too much pattering.
It has to be his fault that the baby popped because it's in his hands and the baby pops. That's the joke.
That's how I felt about when I sent you that Birthday Boy sketch about it's basically a bunch of guys like getting excited and quoting Star Wars, but they're like doing it wrong, and it's because they're quoting a different movie called Star Wars. Or like it's the emphasis is slightly different. And like he's like, remember that part where Yoda's like, eat shit, motherfucker. And it's just stupid like that. And when I sent it to him, obviously that was a component of it, but there was just too much else on it. Like I just wanted that. You know what it was? He gave the baby back too much.
Needed to be seconds after he had the baby in his hand, pop, because the joke is he was right. Again, this is what we talk about all the time. When Branson Reese went guest on Mode, he talked at length about how comedy is just a guy doing something dumb, and you go, look at that dumb guy. He's doing it wrong. I would do it right. He. Well, what makes...
And if you're a cartoonist, you can draw the dumb guy and yourself.
But what makes a joke really, really funny is you do that, and then after that has occurred in the viewer's head, the dumb guy is proven right, and that's what the baby popping is. Because it's funny how unreasonable they are that they're scared to hold the baby, and then they kill the baby by popping it. Hilarious. I don't mean to be critiquing this sketch like I'm any better. I listened to the All Sketches episode recently, dude. It is insane how every one of those sketches is about 5 times too long.
I've said again and again, I was like, there should just be like one randomly thrown into episodes the way rappers do it, because that way you get people to sit through your sketches, like you sneak them in, right?
Yeah.
Because otherwise what we're doing is like, imagine a stage and we come out and we bang some pots together and we say, this is gonna be annoying.
Dude, this is we gotta write this down. You gotta go to the Neo-Futurist Theater and pitch this. They would stage this for sure in a second.
Yes. I think the last time I went to Neo-Futurist Theater was your bachelor party, where it was the most uncomfortable like piece of theater. It's so uncomfortable.
It was
everybody leaving like in the group after, like it's the event is over, people are hanging out in the corner being like, all right, well, have a good marriage.
So it was because what do I like? I like arty stuff. We're in the neighborhood. We just had dinner at Hop Leaf. Let's go see a fucking show at the Neo Futurist Theater, huh? And I knew that Gwyn Fulcher, our homie, guesto goer, had said that the show they have now is really good. And it was really good in the sense that it was really well written and acted. But it was also about stalking and self-harm in a really scary way, which was the intent, yeah?
Stalking undersells it. Like, this person was, like, essentially a hostage.
Yeah, because what it was a sort of a riff on Frankenstein, a creation, but it was sort of more metaphorical in the sense it was like an author and a character, and the author's relationship to the character is sort of like a threatening stalker. I can do anything to you, and the actors were really realistic. And one of my homies,
Dr. Frankenstein is the name of the monster.
Yeah, yes, that's true. And one of my homies had been stalked, and when we left, he was like, I was so triggered, that was the worst experience of my life. There was no warning. Like, the trigger warning was like, there's some loud sounds in this. And I'm like...
It's a black box theater. Yeah.
And, like, this is the Neo-Futurist Theater. This is, like, the most, like... fucking safe space shit. They should have all the trigger warnings in the universe on this fucking thing. Whatever. We were talking about your baby boy. I like that guy.
He's such a delight. The thing is, he's just like so fucking cute. And I know like everyone loves their own baby, says they're cute.
Mm-hmm.
But like I have an above the curve cute baby, and I'm not ashamed to say it. Like Winnie and I say some version of, look at him right now, he's so cute. I mean, we do that with the cats too, but it's true.
If I built a cat, I would be so proud of that cat. And he's like above cat because he's a guy.
Yeah, he's a critter. The way I am taking my role as a co-head of a household is we got two people, and then the lower class of people is critters, and critters are cats and babies.
He's a critter for sure. He's so cute. Here's my thing, because I can't do much during this period. I've done what I can, which is to bring you guys food. I need to come over again soon and hold him, because the first 2 times I was too scared to pick him up allowed, and you didn't tell me I could, and then I said I'm gonna hold him next time, and you're like, you wanted to, you could have at any time, and I was like, fuck, I want to hold that little guy. But here's what
my parents actually didn't want to hold him initially, because they're like, when they're that small, it stresses us out.
It doesn't stress me out. I will simply hold the baby the correct way. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm fully confident of this. Anyway, Here's my plan. Here's my life plan. Here's my 5-year plan. When this little guy is old enough to like talk and shit, and here's what I'm gonna do. Regularly, I should hope, we're gonna come by in our little automobile, me and my wife. We're gonna be like, hey Joe, give us the boy. The boy's gonna get in the car, and we're gonna be like, boy, what do you want to eat? Where do you want to go? And we're gonna take him there, get him everything. Then we're gonna take him to the toy store and be like, boy, what do you want? We're going to get him the toy, get him a video game. And in this way, I will buy his loyalty for life. So that when he becomes successful later in life, which obviously he will, because he'll have no mental illness and he'll be the only normal guy, he'll pay us back by like
protecting our water supply.
Yeah.
Because we'll be old and decrepit, and he will know the way of the blade.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to let us into his compound. Hell yeah.
One thing you said we could come over in our little automobile Hong Kong. Like, the place very close to me is for sale, and it would be like the Detroiters thing with Tom and I, where like they they are in, like, it's not a brownstone, I wish, but like they're in side by side beautiful brownstones.
Joe is underselling this. The place for sale is So he's in a townhouse that's like a row. It's like a row house, where they're little slices, and each slice is a house. It's like 2 down.
Oh my god! You know what I would do? I would tell the guy in between us that's like, hey, I will be banging codes on your wall. I need you to transmit them to my bud on the other side.
Yep. Here's the reason that won't happen, though. Because Joe's place is pretty nice. It's not to my wife and I's taste in terms of just the layout of the building.
Yeah. It's a very vertical layout. And stairs aren't amazing.
Yeah, what you've done with it is beautiful. The decor and setup is beyond reproach. But just like, if we saw a place that was 3 stories and very vertical like that, we'd be like, I don't know, let's keep looking. But like, being 2 doors down from Joe is a huge inducement to like, well, maybe we give it a chance. Except this other unit is like so much fucking worse than Joe's one. Like, if you see the pictures of this, it's like, oh, this looks like it's from the 80s. It's like we would have to replace every single thing.
Everything was built in 90.
Yeah.
That's all original shit. And it is... there are some elements that are still in our place, which is there is like wood-paneled radios that are also like the intercom built into the wall.
That's actually the best thing. You can't complain about that. I love that.
Like, I think they're cool, and when I look at them, I'm like, if I was smarter, the thing to do would be to make it a fake, like, Raspberry Pi thing that just only plays Wi-Fi lo-fi when I turn the dial. That would be so sick.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. I've seen people fucking like a fake wood grain label on electronics is the coolest thing in the universe. I saw some people talking shit about the wood grain Anbernic because like it's just like a sticker on plastic. I'm like, yeah,
actually it's both computer and tree working together.
You evil fucker. Oh, the other thing this other unit has is like more than one mirror wall.
Mirror walls are so unpleasant. It's just like when I want to look at myself, I'm going to do it in a mirror intentionally. I do not need to always see like my stand out of the corner of my eye.
Yes, fucking yes. Oh, so okay, we'll get to the travel part in the next segment. But my wife's parents' guest bathroom has like a mirror wall. But like, it's half, because there's the sink. But everything above the sink and that entire wall is mirror. And then like the shower is like directly across from that. So when you become nude to take a shower, like if you look at that area, you see your whole nude self. And like I hate it. My shape is not right. Don't make me see that.
Right.
And this house would make I'd just be seeing me all the time. No. So I'm not gonna do that. We'll see if I ever fucking find a place that I like that we can afford. We'll keep trying. Our realtor is a real homie. You recommended him. He's one
of your guys now.
Yeah.
Owning a home is a matter of collecting guys. You have like a plumber, electrician, and Al was our like guy patient zero. He is the one that leads you to other guys that also have Chicago accents.
Like I hesitate to use this word because it's negatively coded, but like it's not, because he has a lot of expertise. He's very smart. He's very helpful. He doesn't push you. Like, he doesn't do a hard sell on you, and he's the ultimate guy. But as praiseworthy as this word can be, an oaf. Like, I love him. Like, I wish I could be an oaf like that.
Yeah, like the first email we got from him was, "Hey guys," like no punctuation. I was like, "This is the guy." Like,
oh yes.
I'm serious.
He always said whatever the beginning is, like hello, hey, hi, whatever that is. The next sentence touches the end. Like there's no. He doesn't hit return. He doesn't hit comma. He doesn't hit space. It touches the fucking salutation. It's incredible. And it's just like, this is a guy who's got no bullshit.
He's also, like, obviously knowledgeable enough where communicating like that is not an issue.
Yes. He's so, and like one of the first places we saw, went in this room and he's immediately points to the roof and he's like, why is that water damage there? And the agent showing the place is like, oh, I don't know. And it's like, motherfucker, we would have never seen that water damage.
He's like a Hank Hill domain expansion.
Yes. I love Al. Fuck. Can we end this segment? I want to talk about my trip to Spain.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
We're the anime sickos, and we're here to say anime is bad in a war crime way.
Folks, I went to Spain again. You know how I do that from time to time? It's kind of my in-laws live there, and I had to go. We weren't going to go this year, but my father-in-law developed a illness called myasthenia gravis, which is a rare disease that also Joe's father-in-law has.
Yes.
It's like not dangerous. It just kind of sucks.
It's a quality of life thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And one of the things that makes it a quality of life thing is that it takes the process of trying all the medications takes fucking forever because like so these are medications. It's like, if this works perfectly, you'll feel it change in 16 weeks. And it's like, and if it doesn't work perfectly, you have to take it for 16 weeks and see. It's shit like that. The thing it does is it makes you very weak and fatigued very, very quickly and without a good reason. So he can't travel because of that. He's like doing fine. It's being well handled. The drug he's on, he is responding to. The only issue that remains is that at any time with no warning, he can just be like, I have to go to sleep now. Like, I just gotta. I'm so tired. And so obviously, he could not travel to the U.S. because what if you are in the airport and you're just like, hey, sorry about this. I can't board the plane because I need to go to bed for 3 hours. So we had to go to him. Here's the thing. I don't care because Spain whips my total ass. I love that shit. Normally, I have some insane stories about travel. Not this time because I don't know what happened. It's just a miracle. Nothing fucking insane happened at the airport. But also speaking of travel, I had the most ingenious idea of all time. I thought, holy shit, I should do this, and it turned out to be right. And let me tell you, this is what I'm going to do every time I need to go to Spain to visit the in-laws forever. Here's the deal, Joe. They live near Malaga, which is the city in southern Spain, known for being on the beach and being sunny weather. People go there to go to the beach. That's what it's for. They live about 40 minutes north. You can take a train there. It's great. Malaga is not a place that has nonstop flights to Chicago. It just isn't. It's not a big enough city. It's not prominent enough. If I'm going to go to the beach, I'm going to go to, and I'm in Chicago, I'm going to go to fucking, I don't know, California or Florida. I'm not going to go to Malaga. That's crazy. You'd only go there
to Edgewater Beach.
Exactly. You'd only go there. I go to Montrose Beach. What are you talking about? I'd only go to Malaga if you had family there, which I did. Anywho, that means I have to do a connecting flight, which sucks so much. I hate doing connecting flights, especially in transatlantic flights, because tends to be you have to go further than Malaga, so it's like longer flight than it needs to be. And you land and you feel like shit, like you've been beat up, like anytime you go on a long plane flight. And your reward is, hurry up, bitch, you got to get to your gate and do it again. And I'm like, kill me. So I don't want to do that ever. So where can I go that's nonstop from Chicago to Spain? That's going to be Madrid, baby. The biggest one, the capital. The thing is, Madrid's very far from Malaga. Madrid's right smack dab in the middle. Malaga, as I say, is on the southern coast. So what am I going to do there? Well, I had this ingenious thought. Spain's got all types of high-speed rail across the entire country, connecting every fucking city. I thought to myself,
Tom, Spain is not rich country, right?
You know, I mean, it's European, so it's got that sort of like privilege baked in. But like of the European countries, it's one of the ones that's fucked up, and
they got these trains work.
Do they ever, Joe? So I got my return flight was just Madrid to Chicago, one fucking way. And what I did was I bought another ticket for me and my wife to go on a high-speed rail train from Malaga to Madrid. It cost like €70 for the two of us, which, of course, in U.S. dollars is $1,000. I don't actually know. But the point is, it was cheap. And
but you get to ride a train, which you can't do here.
You can't. And Joe, you get on this train at the train station, which rules because like they have like security like it's the airport, but it's hilarious because they don't ask you to like take anything out. You just put your bag on the conveyor belt, and there's like people with metal detectors, like the wands, but they don't do anything. You just walk past them, and they know that you're even there.
Is there like a dog there? They're waiting to see if it freaks out.
There's no fucking dog. There's nothing. And you get on this train, and the trains show. Okay, our way there, because we hadn't yet done a proof of concept of this. Our flight there was a two ways. We flew to Madrid and then from Madrid to Malaga. Partially because my wife's sister, my sister-in-law, was going to fly from where she was going to Madrid, and then we were on the same flight to Malaga, so we were able to like meet up in the airport, and that was nice. But the Madrid to Malaga flight was like, oh, I'm just like an earth killer. Like, this is a flight that should never take off because it's so goddamn close. It was like this. I'm never going to do this flight again. Again, just the act of being in an airplane hurts you. Even if the chair is comfortable, which it's not. Because, like, you're in this pressurized tube, the air is weird, the air is dry, you're constantly moving around, but you don't have any frame of reference why, so it just feels like you're getting beaten up. You get in the fucking train, Joe, not only is the train's normal, it's like getting on the train going on the L, except you go 300 kilometers an hour, and it feels so smooth, and it is a comfortable ride. You feel like you're in a beautiful angel's.
Are these, and you might not know, are these maglev trains? Like,
hell no. This is a rail. These are two rails and fucking wheels upon them. And
if I could return briefly, I was just kind of curious because we're like, is Spain a rich country? They got trains though. They got great trains. I was just like, what's the GDP of Spain? What's the GDP of Illinois? Spain is 1.2 trillion. Illinois is 1 trillion. We should have these trains. They should go nowhere. They should go from Old Orchard to St. Louis.
Yes.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Here's the other thing. It's happened recently. I would have no way of knowing this except my father-in-law who lives there obviously followed the news and told me, which is that it used to be that the high-speed rail was only the government-run train system called Renfe. But it's recently been changed so that there's Renfe and then there's also private high-speed rail providers that are offering fares as well, which has forced Renfe to lower their prices. So just across the board, prices are lower now to take the high-speed rail. We took the high-speed rail. Here's what we did, Joe. We got on the local rail station, the normal speed from my in-laws' town to Malaga. It took half an hour to get there. We arrived at the train station. We fucked around for a bit. We got on the high-speed rail train. We sat down and had a lovely time, and I played Dave the Diver on Steam Deck. Then we got out of the train, and we are in fucking Madrid. Travel concluded. It is 2 p.m.
I don't understand how you could not just believe that is like a higher level of civilization.
It really is. Like, you can tell being in Spain that, like, this is not, I mean, Madrid, not so much, but like where my in-laws live, it's like, this is not like a great place in terms of like, oh, it's so Tony and rich and everyone's doing great. Like, most of the people don't have jobs. There's one point where my mother-in-law was like, we need to go to Coin, a nearby town, because like they have the shop where you can get the good olives and the good wine. So we go to Coin.
It's a Spanish problem.
The shop that she's talking about is, no joke, like a big garage. And like it's a big garage with a garage door, and they're putting, like, there's a forklift person putting pallets up, and like they don't like block off the aisle. They just like drive it around the people, and like
So I really like this because what you're telling me is like Spain is culturally all of those things, but what that boils down to, like in actual output, is a country where people just like are shitty at their job.
yeah, but like it doesn't
like,
matter because you
it's-
can take the train.
Right. I mean, if I had to be shitty at my job to get a train, I would be so bad. It's such a good trade-off.
But like, yeah, the whole thing was like a proof of concept for this Madrid shit, where we avoid a connecting flight, and then the upshot is at the end of our trip where we visit our in-laws, we have a trip that just the two of us, where we're in Madrid, which is a city you've never been to. It's a very different city than the places we've been, because all the places we've gone in Spain are in Andalusia, the southernmost province where Malaga is. Obviously, we go to the places near there. So this is, it's very different. Like, for example, here's a big difference. In Andalusia, when I have to talk to someone who lives there due to, like, going to the store or going to the train station or going to a restaurant, I dread them saying something back to me, because if they say exactly what I think they're gonna say, like fucking Spanish class words, I'm golden. If they say literally anything different, I freeze up completely and have no idea what to do and look like I just got shot, and it's very embarrassing because I just can't. I thought it was just because my Spanish was bad and because I was nervous, but I don't know. I have no idea what they say. I have no fucking frame of reference. I can't even guess. And
It's
I
the
feel like an
Simpsons
idiot.
thing. It's the nerd energy. They have jock traits, and they can just smell it on you.
That's what I thought, Joe. Then when I was in Madrid, my wife and I were walking around Madrid for a couple hours, and I said, "Hey, have you noticed that you're able to pick out the words that the people around here are saying in Spanish?" Like, because I noticed on the train from, your parents' town to Malaga, I was listening to the people talking on the train, and I literally, if you asked me to write down, like, what were some Spanish words they said, I just would be like, they didn't say, they were just mumbling. They got mush mouth down there, dude. In Madrid, they say the words right. They were Spanish
is the-
boomhauers. They were boomhauers.
I was going to say you actually went to the place where Spanish class Spanish comes from.
Yeah, fuck. Yes, exactly. Anyway, so I've been talking up my ingenious plan to not take a connecting flight and how it worked perfectly, and it did work perfectly. Here's another thing. I'm gonna get to the other thing. I'm gonna get to the twist. But here's the other incredible thing about Madrid and Spain. So Madrid's got this metro system that is amazing. The CTA embarrasses itself on its face. Like, it doesn't need to be
The
compared
yellow
to anything.
line like fell off and exploded like a year ago, and they announced like with no heads up that like this sucker is open Friday in an hour. Here we go.
That's so bad. Fuck. But okay. So the CTA sucks on its face. However, compared to the Madrid metro system, which, even considering that the trains in the Madrid metro look like they were built in 1990, they're so crappy, and like, in order to, the doors don't open automatically when they stop at the stop. There are these little levers you have to pull that make the door open.
No way.
Yeah, dude. So even despite that, the Madrid metro eats the CTA's lunch about 100-fold. It's like so much better in every way. And here's the example I'm going to give you. You know how the CTA is shaped like an outstretched hand? You know, there's a line that goes up, there's a line that goes down, and there's a bunch of spokes that go sort of different diagonals.
Yeah.
You know how everyone has always said, how come there isn't a circle line that goes sort of in a circle around and connects the middle of all these spokes? Because, for example, if I'm on the blue line and I want to get somewhere on the pink line,
You gotta eat shit.
I have to go all the way downtown to the loop, change to the pink line, and then go all the way out. Even though, like, I have traveled a jillion miles where all I wanted to do was go down a little bit. And you could say, why don't you take the bus? It's because the bus is for poor people, and the train is for cool guys. Madrid has the Circle Line.
Oh.
It's like, I looked at the map, and when I saw that there was that one of these lines is round, I was just like, again, like, oh, civilization is easy to do. You just have to do it. And we live in hell.
No-brainer. You could have a circulator line just on the west side of the city. It would change so much. Not that I'm like the first person to have this idea, obviously. A lot of people have, but like, there's a reason Spain did it.
Yeah, it's because it makes people be able to go around. It's insane. We were on that metro a ton at all different types of the day: early morning, late night, midday, rush hour, etc., etc. The longest wait there ever was for a train was 5 minutes.
Oh God.
Anyway, all this sounds like I did a great job. Here's why I'm actually a big bitch and an idiot. So, Joe, are you a big celebrator of New Year's? Do you love that holiday?
Historically, I've been ambivalent.
Yeah, me too. I've gone to a few New Year's parties, but it's not a big deal. I mean, what you usually do on New Year's, what are the big things? Being a huge crowd and countdown, that's not appealing to me.
Close out a bar.
I don't want to do that. I don't really like bars. They're expensive. Go to a rager party. I mean, it's not. I didn't really like it in college when I thought I had to, and I really don't want to do it now. So, for the last couple of years, I have not observed the New Year's at all. My wife doesn't even like staying up past 10. Most times she doesn't. So it doesn't fucking matter to me. I say this because a normal person would note that when you're making hotel reservations in Madrid from December 31st to January 2nd, that you're making New Year's reservations, buddy. Well, I did not realize I had made New Year's reservations until we got there and we're like, let's go downtown to the sort of big tourist zone and sort of walk around the metro area and see what we got. Because our traveling style, my wife and I, is to just plan nothing. Just go to a place, walk around, and see what's interesting. And this pays dividends for us in a big way every time, other than when it's New Year's Eve in the capital of Spain. Because would you believe that it was a very crowded, with huge seas of people that felt suffocating to even see, let alone walk through. And that also, in addition, would you believe that on New Year's Eve, most fucking places are closed? I'm going to go ahead and say 2/3 of places were closed. And the remaining 1/3 has to serve like 2.5 times more people than there usually are in the area. So what that means is either every single place is absolutely slammed with massive fucking lines, or they are doing a special New Year's Eve menu that is by reservation only. We do not have any reservations, and there are none to be had. So we think, okay, this is bad, but we'll be able to get dinner. And I was like, oh, I know there's a famous chocolateria where you can get chocolate and churros. Oh, I want to go there. I have a magical nose for this. I was not looking for it, and I did not know where it was. And as you were just, wandering, we found it. Also, we did a day trip to Malaga earlier in the trip. And again, I don't remember where this chocolate and churros place is, but we just got off the train, and within 5 minutes, we're seated. Because I just got there. My mind was like, you don't remember this consciously, but we're gonna get there. And we got there. Anyway, so we're at this place. And I'm like, oh, fuck, the lines are huge. We'll go tomorrow. And then a couple of hours go by. We can't fucking find anywhere to eat. I'm just like, I'm hungry as shit. You know what? Let's go back to the chocolate and churros place. It's 6 p.m. That is an insane time to get chocolate and churros. Maybe because of that, the line is going to be shorter. I was right, it was. And the shortest line is for the takeout only window because you don't get to sit down. And I'm like, shit, I don't care about sitting down. I just want to eat it. I just want to taste it. We're getting the takeout only line. This line's taking forever. I don't know why it is, because it's just get chocolate and churros. And like, if you look inside, there are people from like the other windows who are carrying huge bins of already bagged churros, like one serving each, huge amount, bin after bin, to like load this place up. And there's someone who's at the huge vats of hot chocolate who's pouring cup after cup, and there's like 50 cups. So like, to order chocolate and churros, it's bam bam done. So it's taking forever. This couple in front of me, Spaniards, they get up to the front of the line and start talking to the guy. And the guy who is working the cashier, now obviously he's talking to tourists all day. So talking in Spanish to Spaniards has got to be a balm for him, because he doesn't have to deal with idiot fucking Americans like me. And they start asking him, and again, I can follow their conversation because they're talking in Spanish class Spanish. They ask him tell us about all the different Chocolateria San Ginés memorabilia you got for sale. He does. They pick out some fridge magnets, discuss them. What do you like about this fridge magnet? They start asking about. There's a commemorative metal box. It says Chocolateria San Ginés on it. They say, how popular is this? They talk about how popular it is. I'm thinking to myself, are you seriously just gonna buy fucking memorabilia? Well, one, no. They're going to first talk for 10 minutes, and then they're going to just buy memorabilia. Joe, every single person in that line was sending such hatred beams. And then I go up and say, chocolate y churros, por favor. Guy says, solo uno, as I see. He says, 5 euros. I go, okay, boop. And then I get my shit and I go. That was real time, by the way. That's how long my order took. And I ate the chocolate and churros. Would you believe it? It was great. Place is famous for a reason. The reason I call out that I ate this shit at 6 p.m. is because if not, I would have gone insane and died, because there was no dinner. Joe, there's no dinner.
Yeah, you told me I ate hotel minibar chips for dinner.
I had €5 chips, and they weren't very good, and they were stale, because what happened was we were like, okay, let's walk around, and the first restaurant we see that we can get into, let's just go into no matter what. Well, there wasn't any. And we were like, well, okay, this is the big downtown area. Obviously, it's going to be packed. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to put our hotel into Google Maps. Actually, there's this place near our hotel that Google says is open. Oh, it looks pretty good. Okay, let's go there. That'll be our destination. We'll walk there. It'll take us about an hour to walk there. And the object of the game is any place we pass that looks good, we'll eat there. And then this is like the insurance, yeah? We walk an hour. Nowhere is open. Like, literally nowhere. It was like, we were like walking in like zombie movie. It was a ghost town. There was no one on the fucking streets because they were all downtown getting blasted. We get to this place that is our insurance. And thank God it's got all its lights on. Its front door is open. Oh, yes. And there is this like separate part that's sort of like a enclosed like train car, because it is cold. It's winter, even though it's Spain. And it's sort of like across the street from the main location. It's on like a boulevard where there's like a big street, then there's a little pedestrian area, and then there's like a tiny street on the side, So this little enclosed part is on the walking area across from the tiny street. And we see that there are some people in there, but we don't know, like, are we supposed to go there? Because, like, how do they get the food there? They have to walk it across the fucking street? I don't want to do that's crazy. It's probably just a bar, because they have cocktails and stuff. It's probably just a bar. And then you eat inside. Okay, that's what we'll do. We'll go inside. And you go inside, and this place is a gorgeous dining room. That's part of why we wanted to go there. The images on Google were so gorgeous, and it's like, oh, it looks great. It looks incredible, but there's no one here. Well, it is only like 8 p.m. That's early for Spaniards eating dinner. Let's go in. We go in, and there's people there, in their uniforms for being a waiter, and we say, hola, para dos? And they say, no, están cerrados. I'm like, you're fucking cerrados? Why is your fucking door abierto if you're cerrados? Like, what are you talking about? And there's no dinner. We didn't have any dinner. We got home and we're like, let's use Glovo, which is the service where people on bikes fucking bike McDonald's to you. Let's fucking go on Glovo and just order fucking McDonald's, okay? My wife, she can get a fillet of fish. She doesn't eat meat. We fucking fine. We'll choke down some fucking McDonald's. Who cares? We just need dinner. Glovo was like, hello, we at Glovo are giving our riders the night off to celebrate New Year's. Dude, there was no fucking dinner. The next day, we're walking across Madrid. We're walking around the downtown. And we come across so many incredible places. We see the fucking city, the city hall, which is like a masterpiece building that you can go in and see all types of beautiful things. There's a cocktail bar on the top floor. That shit's closed. We see the Museo del Prado, which is one of the great art museums of all time, one of the premier centers of culture in the world. That shit's closed. We see there's 2 other museums that I don't remember, but there's like 3 world-class art museums within like blocks of each other. All that shit's closed. We see the opera house. We've become opera heads. It's a gorgeous opera house. We're like, maybe we'll see a fucking opera. Of course we can't. There's no operas on January 1st or 2nd. Joe, I wanted to fucking die and kill myself. But in the end, it was really fun. Even though we couldn't do anything. So that's my story. Turns out, when you visit your in-laws for the holidays, that's the holidays. That's the holidays.
Yeah, like, I mean, what happened to me was obviously more important.
Yeah.
Because, like, I can just turn on the TV and hear Spanish. Like, come on.
You can.
Yeah.
The only other thing I wanted to say is, I'm going to do a little rant. I'm going to try to keep this short. But this is just me being self-important and moralizing about AI and the like. One thing about walking down around Madrid without a plan is that it is incredible. Just no matter which direction you go, you're going to have an incredible time, because you are going to see a building that is one of like the art treasures of the world. That's going to make your jaw drop. It's going to take your breath away. And I mentioned to my wife, any of these buildings is the kind of place that a Greek statue avatar guy would like have a big rant about, like, because of woke, because of the trans, we no longer build this and instead build condos. This is why we have to exterminate the trans. There's no other way. And, like, the thing about that shit that really pisses me off is that they want to exterminate the trans. But the second thing is that, like, these people, like, how do you think the beautiful building got made? Like, where do you think all that artistry came from? Like, these fuckers think of beauty and artistry as, like, a natural resource that comes out of the ground.
Yeah, and then it can only be corrupted by, like...
by a trans.
By someone who is not pure.
Yes, by someone who's degenerate. And, like, the idea, like, because it is a natural resource that comes out of the ground, deciding to not use it is like deciding to use concrete instead of wood. Like, it's wood to them. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, you don't seem to understand that if you want something to be artistic, you need there to be an artist. And in order for there to be an artist, it needs to be possible to live an artist's life. And, like, you yell about why isn't things more beautiful, but if someone is degenerate and is living an artist's life, you're like, kill them! And then my wife is like, well, this is why they love AI. Because, like, AI makes the gray gruel for free. And
and there's, like, no uppity, like, there's no artist who can hold craft over you. Like saying, like, you wanted this thing, they told you it sucks and it's in your choices are not interesting, but a computer will just do it, and you can get Chuck E. Cheese guys, like, doing the mecha thing, like, whatever.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah, they're going on the Hodge, and, like, Mid-Journey is never going to be like, I'm actually called Mia Journey now, I'm she, her now, and they're like, no, Mid-Journey's degenerate. Mid-Journey will never be degenerate. They'll always be able to know, and it helps that it's killing the world, because that makes it conservative. That's, like, conservative coded.
That is a key element, too. I read that all of the language learning models that Microsoft is deploying is requiring just a mind-numbing amount of water to cool their computing centers, which is hysterical, because it's just like, all this is to make computers just, like, generate spam to each other and then be like, wow, yeah, you can get this on a t-shirt. You need a heater?
And then when I got home, I went on Twitter for the first time because when I was there, I didn't have my laptop, I had no computer, and my phone doesn't have any social media on it. Not even Blue Sky, the one people say is good. It's not good. They're both bad. And so I went on Twitter for the first time. And the first time I just sort of looked at my notifications and responded. I didn't actually look at the timeline. The first time I looked at the timeline, literally the top tweet, the first one I saw after 16 days of no Twitter, was from our man Jeet here. And Jeet had this to say: "We really are on the edge of the abyss." To reword that, another way to say that is, should we all kill ourselves?
I also like this. There's no specifics about why though. Like we're in a bad place. What are we talking about though? Let me tell you something, buddy. I've danced upon the abyss. Its edge so sharp that when it grazed my skin, I was nude. I bled, and I am here to tell you: just give it like another year or two and check back in. Like you have to do this on a rolling basis.
Anyway, that's all the time we have for Anime Sickos. Thank you so much for listening and sticking with us for another year.
I've been Joe, an anime sicko.
I've been Tom, an anime sicko. I forgot to say that. I was just like, is there something else? No. But yes, I should have said that. Anyway, bye-bye.
See ya.